Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali signed treaty to counter ECOWAS. In a new twist to counter the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, 3 West African Sahel countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have signed a treaty. Of course, Niger cannot deal with what is coming standing alone. The 2 other neighbors, Burkina Faso and Mali, are also aware of the dangers of the military junta in Niger collapsing. A recent coup attempt has shown anything is possible if the insurgency gets a French backing. So there is a cause for worry. And who knows what is already on ground, as France is desperate about retaining control of certain resources from its former colonies, without which the European country may collapse. That is also shameful. So last Saturday, 3 West African Sahel countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, all under military juntas, signed a security pact promising to come to the aid of each other in case of any rebellion or external aggression. The 3 countries are struggling to contain insurgents linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, and have also seen their relationship with neighbors and international partners strained because of the coups. The latest coup in Niger drove a further wedge between the 3 countries of the regional bloc, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, which has threatened to use force to restore constitutional rule in the country. Mali and Burkina Faso have vowed to come to Niger's aid if it is attacked. According to them, any attack on the sovereignty and territorial integrity of one or more contracted parties will be considered an aggression against the other parties. That is what the pact says. It said the other states will assist individually or collectively, including with the use of armed force. I have today signed with the heads of states of Burkina Faso and Niger the Liptako-Guma Charter establishing the Alliance of Sahel States with the aim of establishing a collective defense and mutual assistance framework. This according to Mali junta leader Assimi Goïta. He said on his ex-social media account. Ex-social media is formerly Twitter. All 3 states were members of the France-supported G5 Sahel Alliance Joint Force, with Chad and Mauritania launched in 2017 to tackle extremists in the region. Mali has since left the dormant organization after a military coup, while the post-Niger's president Mohamed Bazoum said in May last year that the force is now dead following Mali's departure. The relationship between France and 3 countries has turned sour since the coups. The military leaders have all reasoned with the idea that they are contending against France's exploitation of their countries with the democratic system in place. Prior to Saturday's agreement between the 3 countries, Niger Republic cancelled 1,000 diplomatic passports from ousted regime. These were 50 of the passports given to American, British, French, Libyan, and Turkish people, as well as other West Africans. The Foreign Ministry has written to notify diplomatic representations in Niger that the passports are now lapsed, according to copies of the letter posted on social networks. The diplomatic documents were held by former senior figures in institutions and ministries, as well as ex-MPs and advisors, including the President and Prime Minister, the official press agency, ANP, said late Thursday. President Mohamed Bazoum was overthrown in July 26 and has since been detained at his residency. At the end of August, the new regime cancelled passports held by several members of the government who were abroad, including the Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, and Niger's ambassador to France. Niger junta also ended military accord with Benin Republic. Niger is ending the military pact with neighboring Benin, accusing it of authorizing the deployment of troops on its territory for a possible military intervention by the West African regional bloc. Many African countries have chosen to remain puppets to Europe and always doing their biddings. ECOWAS is not just making attempts to end military rule in the bloc, but dancing the tune of France in particular as regards opposing the current military junta in Niger. For Nigeria's President Tinubu, who had cut off electric supply to Niger Republic despite the agreements, he is just playing his role as leader of ECOWAS head of state. The decision of the sub-regional body, which is collective, is what must be carried out, according to him. In rounding up, African leaders must learn to have their own say and avoid foreign interference. They should not allow the West decide what happens in Africa. In a recent news, Sierra Leone president revealed how U.S. tried to meddle with their country's election, how U.S. pressured him to interfere in the election, and he has accused the United States of pressuring him to interfere with his country's June 24th election count, a statement in the stark contrast to what Washington has revealed regarding the fairness of the poll. President Julius Maada Bio made this statement on Friday during a speaking event at American University in Washington. It was when the time came to announce the result of the election that the problem started. The Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone has collected the data, made its calculations, and the United States asked him, that's Bell, to prevent the Commission's editor's notes from announcing the results. So, I don't know who is accusing who of interference, he added. I refused to do it, and I said that I never called this institution, the Commission, and that I was not going to do it now, he added, saying he respected the independence of the semi-autonomous body. Julius Maada Bio, 59, was re-elected last June in a vote criticized by opposition and foreign observers. In a joint statement following the election, delegations from the United States, European Union, France, Ireland, and Germany said they shared the concern of the national and international observers about the lack of transparency in the tabulation process. Ahead of the poll, some thought the country's soaring inflation and their economic situation would give the opposition an opening. Bao won with 56.17% of the ballot, just above 55% needed to avoid a runoff. That is to say, if it is below 55%, there will have been a runoff. On August 31st, the State Department announced visa restriction on those believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Sierra Leone, including through vote rigging or intimidation of election observers. The names of those targeted were not made public, and visa decisions are confidential under U.S. law. Elections are always contentious issues, no matter where they happen in the world, including the United States, Bio said during the event at his alma mater, where he earned his bachelor's and master's degree, following his move to the United States after handing over power from military junta. He briefly led to a democratically elected government in the 90s. When the United States cast doubts on the credibility of the election, "You are calling for a coup," Bio said. The same representatives of the United States have told us that in any case, they just wanted a second round. In any case, I was going to win because of all the polls have made that clear. Sierra Leonean Information Minister Chemo Ba told African Pictures that I cannot speak to the U.S. motivation behind allegedly asking Bell to interfere in the Sierra Leoneans elections announcement. You will have to ask U.S. that. And meanwhile, Philtown still has a great relationship with Washington and looks forward to maintaining it, Bio said. Can you imagine that? Except for their interests, why would they have to decide for other countries who will be their president? and they claim to be the leader of the democratic world, yet they interfere with its proper implementation. That again shows double standard, and that even the democracy they preach is aimed at only how it benefits them. Africa, it is time to resist foreign interference. It is time for Africa to have their own say. Thanks for watching. Please share this video widely.